They don't talk about us, only when there's a crime. Would you believe me if I was to tell you that in this world, with or without money, we're all rich, even the poor? The problem is those that say that I'm reaching out to give a hand and stay they leeching hands is itching, ready to see you missing. Well, thinking what to write, something inside me told me I can freestyle or I can rap. I can go with a rhythm that can make you dance. Tell you what I see on a daily, tell you everything's okay just to avoid dilemma. Or I can simply bring you something positive to the table and warn you of the ongoing problems that we're having. Instead, I have to reach out to my conscience once again as I watch the crime and the violence rise and the kids lose their innocence. Now, the concept of forming a home day by day loses its essence. They don't want to hear that. I can't keep my arms crossed in front of the system. If I don't do something, I'm also part of the problem. As guilty as the one that pulls the trigger, like the person in the crowd that hits the record button on their phone to expose a lie instead of the truth for clout. They need 1,000 views. The government doesn't have a solution. The problem started when we took God out the equation. The problem ain't us celebrating. The problem is that we a nation divided when we should be a nation united and praying. That's how we live today. When problems occur, we come up with a meaning. Laugh a little, move on with no care in the world, as if it ain't even a thing in this world. If it's like this today, I don't want to see the future. Because nowadays, they'll make a meme out of a person that can't even see the day's light no more. What makes you think they care? They can't even break bread at the table. I don't know how you want to be rappers and lyricists can go on with life, living on an illusion of nothing good to write. Talking about killing someone, selling drugs with pride, until the scripts are flipped and it's someone you love dies. Right? This ain't solved by activating the National Guards and going behind bars. This is deep, this is me and you. And they say as time pass by, we'll heal everything. Shit, you know these scars? I seen time flash by and never feel everything. You get me on standby, ready to kill everything. Alone in the mirror looking at myself, say, girl, you're everything. You don't need for anything, shorty. So unless you walk a mile in my shoes, don't say anything. Just take a minute and listen so you can consume everything. Me and you are not the same, so make sure you look both ways when you cross me, and that's on everything. Hey, what up, everybody? I hope all of y'all is having a blessed and humble night, or a blessed and humble morning. I hope all of y'all continue to have a blessed and humble morning. Listen, today's topic, we're going to have an open panel if y'all wish to come on, give y'all perspective and much more. But before I get on to that, I want to welcome everybody to the Writers for Life Brings You a Let's Talk About It podcast. And today, the shorty's going to be reacting to Hassan Campbell's interview with Vlad TV. Did I put the title in right? Hold on 1 second. Make sure I did that. I can't see it. Here we go. Okay, yeah. That's I did put the title right. So we're gonna be reacting to Hassan Campbell, right? A lot of y'all know how I feel and what I think about Hassan Campbell. Y'all know my opinion. I feel as though he needs help. I'm still a little could his shooting have been real? Could it have been fake? I know a lot of people could fake stuff. Listen, man, I've seen so many plays here on YouTube that is crazy. I mean, a lot of people can pull off some stuff. It is just crazy how everything happened. But lately, a lot of people have been talking to me about his interview with Vlad TV. I've seen bits and pieces while watching other people's lives. I'm sitting here like while watching certain clips of, people reacting to him. I'm like, yo, I feel as though like this man right now, he really doesn't care about his life. He doesn't care about his wife. He doesn't care about his kids. He doesn't care about nothing. Like, if he really wanted justice, in my opinion, like I said before, he would have been put Africa Bambaataa away. All this that he's doing for me, to me, in my opinion, to me is all, I don't know, to get some attention. But that's my opinion. And before I continue, let me play this because I'm not willing to get a strike from Hassan Campbell, but now I know how to fight it, y'all.
Copyright disclaimer: under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976, allowance is made for fair use for the purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, education, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Fair use allows limited use of copyrighted material without permission from the copyright holder for purposes such as criticism, parody, news reporting, research, and scholarships and teaching. Disclaimer: the views and opinions expressed on this video or any video, including the Writers for Life Brings You to Let's Talk About It podcast, do not reflects on the opinions of your shorty Racheal and the members of the Writer for Life podcast. Everything we talk about is allegedly and is our opinion. Our videos are not recommended for minors. Everything we talk about and do is meant for educational purposes and also entertainment. Please keep in mind that the majority of our videos are for educational purposes only. This world is crazy. I would say shady. Ironic, right? Nowadays, you can't trust no one. When you do, niggas be having their panties all in a bunch and getting that they own one. Saying the things that you accomplished in life is theirs and that you owe them one.
All right, y'all. So I had to play that little disclaimer because I've learned my lesson from the past. I've only been speaking on Hassan Campbell again for the past couple of months. So, like, if y'all look for the past videos, I have to do re-uploads. And a lot of them I don't have because I had to delete them in order not to lose my channel. But let's talk about it. Like Shorty was saying, she feels like Hassan Campbell needs serious help. I feel like he needs to, get off of YouTube, spend some time with his family. If he really cares about his family, find some type of therapy, in my opinion. But he really, like, on YouTube, like, he calls himself an advocate. They say that he's an advocate for the youth. They say that he's the face for the kids that have been molested. But everything that he is doing on YouTube, the way he is behaving, is the complete opposite of that. In my opinion, listen, man, he makes it seem like the people that get molested or people that get R word, right, can't overcome it, can't seem to find help, or they can't seem to move on in life, right? Even if they don't get justice. I'm not going to sit here and lie. A lot of people in life don't get their justice, but you don't see them out here behaving the way that he is getting. I mean, he's behaving. A lot of people accept help. He doesn't want help. I've had a lot of people, come at me, come at my neck. I've had a lot of lashback for giving my opinions here on YouTube. But guess what? Listen, it's like a bullying somebody, right? Once you keep picking and you keep picking and you picking on somebody, you bring that, like, you bring that beast out. Some people just at the end of the day just don't give a fuck. See, I have a conscience, I have morals, so at the end of the day, it's only but so far I will go. You disrespect me, I'm gonna top your disrespect. Don't mess with my kids and I won't mess with you. So that's how I am. But see, Hassan Campbell has brought people from feeling bad for him, from feeling like, damn, let's help him get justice, to you really trying to play the shit out of everybody. See, that's how I feel. I feel the same as a lot of people when it comes to Hassan Campbell. Like, he is using a story that I'm not even sure if it's really his. Like, and if it is, he shouldn't be doing all this on social media. I feel as though, in my opinion, and this is my opinion, I'm not here to offend nobody. I feel as though, like, this man needs to go get some type of help. He needs to get off of social media. It's really getting to him. It's affecting him mentally. And if he did go through the molestation that he has went through, that he says that he went through, I feel as though that he hasn't gotten over it. And if it's like what other people are seeing here on YouTube, that him and Africa Bambaataa were lovers and he scorned, damn, then I give it to those people that are mad at him, because damn, you sat here, you played people, you used them, and I can't feel bad for him. Y'all know who I feel bad for? I feel bad for his wife. I feel bad for his kids. That's who I feel bad for. I pray for them, because the shit that he's doing here on social media has consequences. And hopefully none of the young men that do follow him end up following in his footsteps. Hassan Campbell is not the right role model for the youth. He is not, in my opinion. But let's get on to what we came on here. Let's react to a couple of his video. I mean, to a couple of the videos. Vlad TV interviewed Hassan Campbell, which to me is crazy. Like if you leave it to Hassan Campbell in the past, he has talked shit about Vlad TV, talking about never wanted to be on his platform and this and that. And but let's get to it. So allegedly, apparently, it's not allegedly, apparently, Hassan Campbell took an interview with him. Well, I don't know if he reached out or who reached out first, but Hassan Campbell did an interview with Vlad TV. Mm-mm. Nah, nah, nah. Let's do that. All right. So let's react to this. Let's see what Hassan Campbell says. Now, I've seen this clip, I've seen it. Shout out to Miss 504. Now she's No Love girl now. Ah, but shout out to Miss 504 because she's one of the ones that, that brought this out there, and she's one of the ones that, that brought to my attention that Hassan Campbell did this. Like, this is crazy after the whole shooting. Like, yo, he is really doing so much for attention and for clout. All this, like, I wonder if a lot of y'all are still going to cheer this man on when in reality, like, one of these days, he's not going to be here. One of these days, like my child says, he's going to be oofed, nowhere to be seen. And y'all thinking that it's probably one of his plays or him playing around. And no, listen, let's get to it, y'all. Let's get to it because I'm not trying to be here over an hour. And I think I've already been here like 10 minutes in, maybe probably 15, 20. So let's get to it. The most I'm trying to be here is like an hour and a half, the most. I'm not trying to be here no 3 hours long because I got things to do in a little bit. So let's get to it.
All right, here we go. Today we have one of the most controversial figures on the internet, Hassan Campbell. Welcome to Vlad TV.
Finally. Let's go.
Let's go. Well, I want to get into your whole story, but before I do,
Yo, he said, finally, let's go. Like, you so hype when you was, just last year and the years before that, he was talking smack about this man. That he is not, how can I say, he yo, let's watch.
something very serious happened recently, so I want to cover that. So, what exactly happened in the Bronx about a week ago or so?
Well, I found myself in a very, very depressed state. I was in the house. I was actually like going over to Cassie in the P Diddy situation, and it took me back to a bad place with the Africa Bambaataa story. So for me, after drinking all night, like literally all night, I found myself in Bronx River, setting up my camera and just venting. Like I really pretty much was just
Now, a lot of y'all might not know what he's talking to y'all. A lot of y'all might know. Hassan Campbell is very famous. But for those of y'all that don't know, let me pause that right here real quick, right? And let me share the screen with y'all. And I'm going to show y'all a little bit of what he's talking about, right? I got to go to this page. So he's talking about this live right here, right? Let me tell y'all something. the way he was behaving this day, it was bound for something bad to happen. He's lucky that he made it out of there alive, because I don't know if he got stuck in the past. And what I mean by that is, because you out here shouting that you made a curfew for them, right? You make people go in early. You sabotage people. You rob people. You've killed people. You've harmed people in this community, right? And you still think that you can come back to a community that you've caused so much harm in, right? And do this and think you're just gonna walk out like nothing. But then at that, I don't know if you're in your right mind right now. What makes you think that everybody that was living there when you a couple years back is still there? Who wants to sit here early in the morning and hear somebody scream and shout? They probably don't even know what you were screaming and shouting. This is why I tell a lot of people, like, yo, something is really off with him. I don't know if he really does suffer like from schizophrenia or something, but it's kind of like starting to seem like it. And it's not cuddling the man, is that at the end of the day, I'm not gonna bash him down. I don't know this man from a can of paint. And my channel is not meant for beef. My channel is not to bring people down. But I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna be honest. Something's really off with this man. And what's crazy is, throughout the few clips that I've heard through these interviews, listen, in my opinion, this man works for the feds. Not just the feds, but he's snitched on a couple of people, made a couple confessions. Because, like, throughout these confessions, I'm like, yo, let's keep watching. Let's keep going. Because I'm not, like I said, I'm not trying to be here 2 to 3 hours. So let's go so we can react to a couple of videos.
I'm in the hood. Nobody likes me in my hood. I robbed these niggas. I extorted these niggas. I put these niggas on a curfew.
So he robbed, extorted, and put niggas in a curfew. And he thought he was just gonna get in. He was just gonna go up there that morning, talk his smack, and just get away with it, huh? Like that, he's the president of the United States. He's the Pope. He's somebody just that famous. Even people that are famous still get it. Like,
y'all already see. I'm in the hood where it is what it is. It is what it is. Ain't nobody gonna make me go nowhere.
now you see that. Let's go a little further. This is him.
I'll stab your mother to death. I throw your mother down the flight of steps. Bitch nigga, throw it out the window. I dare you. I dare you. I'm watching. I dare you. Throw that fucking bottle out the window while I'm watching. Throw the bottle out the window while I'm watching.
Now, I don't know if y'all heard it, but apparently you heard a glass break. That could have been him when he walked off the screen. That could have been somebody else. That could have been somebody up there. Listen, we don't know because we wasn't there. But I want y'all to look a little further.
Come outside. Y'all niggas see what they throwing out the window? Nigga, I got an army out here. Come outside. Come outside. I look like I'm running. Come outside.
We're gonna get back to the interview in 1 second.
What up, boy? Come outside. Come outside with the shooters. Come outside. Where you at? Don't throw no bottles out the window. Come outside. That's what I thought.
Now we're gonna go a little further.
What up, though? What up, though? What up, though? Don't stay in the window. Come outside with the shooters. Don't stay in the windows. Come outside with the shooters. Don't stay in the window. Come outside with the shooters. What happened though? What up though? What up though? What up though? What up though? Don't stay in the window. Come outside with the shooters. Everybody got something to say. Until a real nigga got something to say. Everybody got something to say. Until a real nigga got something to say. Come outside. That's my shit right here. Those
He said everybody got something to say until a real nigga got something to say. But a real nigga wouldn't behave the way this man is behaving. That's my opinion. Like a real nigga would have dealt with things differently. But then again, you're calling yourself a real nigga, not a real man. It's just how his behavior is. And I'm gonna go a little further than this, and then I'm gonna give y'all my perspective. Behind him, that's allegedly his homie.
what up though? I see. What that?
Take the second exit on Westchester Avenue.
I need to get to the hospital quick.
At the roundabout, take the second exit on.
All right. So as y'all can see, it jumps from there to, make sure y'all can hear me, my bad. It jumps from there to him hopping in the car to going to allegedly the emergency room. But let me tell y'all this right here, right? I'm gonna start off by saying Hassan Campbell was in the complete wrong. Whether it was for play, whether it was a skit, whether it was for real. You don't go into the hood in the place that you once sat here and extorted people, robbed people, hurt people, killed people, allegedly set the curfew for them. Like, and think that you're just going to get out there scot-free by yelling and screaming and acting a fool in public, screaming and shouting things that a lot of these people might not even know what you're talking about. See, Hassan Campbell brought this upon himself. He didn't want to sit here and think it through. And no matter how many people sit here and tell him to think it through, he ain't. Because Hassan Campbell's going to do what Hassan Campbell want to do. He don't care if his family's at risk or not. He just got shot. And I'm going to say allegedly. Because, listen, man, you could pay off cops. You could sit here and do this right here. Now, y'all seeing that? Let's go back. Right? Now, let's go to the videos real quick. This is where he allegedly ended up in a hospital. With a wound that shows allegedly on the left side, I mean on the right side, but now it's on the left side. And in a little bit after this interview, let's go back to the interview. I'm gonna show y'all another video that he did with his homie. So we're gonna go right back to this interview real quick. As y'all can see, he's right here in the hospital though. See, that's where he landed. What he did was gonna cost his life. Because he's out here challenging people. He's out here, he's out here telling people to come on. He's telling them he's got an army. He's telling them that he's ready. But he's with a pocket knife. He's with a knife, whatever he has, but he's not armed. Telling them that he's got minions with him. Telling them that he's got a whole army behind him in the hood that you extorted and robbed. Let's make that one make sense, y'all. So let's go back to the interview real quick. And let's finish listening to what he's saying. Oh, this is crazy. Let's go back a couple seconds, maybe a minute or two.
Just venting. Like.
And by the way, there's other ways to vent. Real men don't go out there in the hood in public. And I'm not saying real men should, or I'm not telling you what real men do. What I'm saying is the real men that I have seen around me have dealt with their situations differently. And none of them have gone out in public and sat here and challenged people the way that you did. None of them sat here and went out in public and put their kids and wife in at risk like you did. But hey, I guess to each his own. Maybe I'm wrong.
I really pretty much was just letting off some steam because I feel like the elders in Bronx River Projects failed me. So I went back to the original place of where my pain started, which was Bronx River Projects, the home of Africa Bambaataa, the home of myself. And in the process of that, I already had some tension with the neighborhood. So with me calling dudes out and just my brain was like in suicide mode. I'm outside in the middle of the projects, nothing to protect myself but a pocket knife. And
And that's my whole point. Somebody that's real, somebody that has a that cares about their family, that loves themselves enough, would not have done what you have done. So for those of y'all out here cuddling him and saying, "Oh, this is okay. He was just going through it." No, no. This is what people that want attention do. But hey, to each his own.
I'm in the lion's den where there's nothing but shooters calling out the shooters, and they came outside and they shot. And I felt myself hop skipping and jumping to the hospital. You know, once that bullet hit me, my brain went to survival mode.
Okay, so let's talk about what led up to this. So you went out to the Bronx River Projects, like you said, where you're from, and you had your friend Mr. Checkmate with you, right?
No, he wasn't with me.
Oh, he wasn't.
What happened was he spoke to me on the phone before I got over there, and he heard the state that I was in. So what he did was immediately, once he heard where I was going, he was like, he was in a house. He had a stomach virus. He was throwing up. He had diarrhea. So he just ran out of the house and made his way over there immediately.
Now, yo, I can't right now. He said he had diarrhea, he had the stomach virus, he had the runs, he was throwing up. Ay, 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 caga y no llores, porque cagando se alegra. Mi cielito lindo de tus mojones. Yo, he put his homie out there under the bus though. Like this nigga went out there shitty as shit, eating some shitty beans. I need a diaper. Yo, but nah, on some real shit. How your homie was not sick. Cause somebody has got the runs, somebody is throwing up with a stomach virus, can barely make it out the bed. They're either in the toilet or with a bucket right next to them. So that right there doesn't even fit into the narrative. But homie was there though. But you just want to be extra with it. I get it.
Immediately. And, you know, so now I'm on the camera. I'm looking at my camera. And at some point, I remember him coming up the side of me and he's like, yo, let's get out of here. And I'm still yelling at the camera. So he pointed in the direction of the shooters. And I looked and I faced them. And that's when they hit the fan.
Okay, so I saw the video. So you're in front of the projects and you have your phone set up and you're screaming and you're really upset. And at some point, did someone throw a bottle at you?
Yes. Somebody was throwing a bottle out the window, threw a few bottles. And see, now that's how you know I wasn't in my right frame of mind.
Yo, who wouldn't be throwing bottles, nigga? You early in the morning. You don't hear the roosters. You hear Hassan Campbell. You don't hear the roosters. You hear a grown boss baby. Well, no, man, you're not no boss. A grown baby man out in the street screaming and shouting and like his feelings like a woman. I'm not trying to come at the man, but damn. How low can you go for clicks and views using the story of molestation? Like if there's not really people out here that have been molested, there's not really people out here that been the R word. And it's hard for them to come out with their stories because of people like you that play with situations and stories like this.
Mine, because the way the bottle hit the floor, if that would have hit my brain, I probably would have been in a vegetable state coming from the higher up floors. So
Yo, did you just
now I'm yelling, there's bottles flying, there's bottles flying at my head, and I'm not budging. And I'm like kind of saying, come outside. Don't throw the bottle, come outside. So,
I need somebody to let me know if somebody throws you, a glass bottle in your head. I need to look this up. Like, if you get hit in the head by a glass bottle, will it give you a spinal injury to the point where you'll be paralyzed, like he just said? So I know I'm not tripping. Let's go back a couple seconds, maybe a minute or two, because the way he talking.
there's bottles flying at my head. And if that would have hit my brain, I probably would have been in a vegetable state coming from the higher up floors.
Yeah, now I'm done. Because he said if that would have hit my brain, your brain is inside your skull. Yo, I can't.
So now I'm yelling, there's bottles flying, there's bottles flying at my head, and I'm not budging. And I'm like kind of saying, come outside. Don't throw the bottle, come outside. So, as the bottles is being thrown, distracting me, the shooters is creeping up the hill. So now this is where checkmate comes in, and he sees me, and he makes me turn and look like, look. I looks into the direction. So now the me throwing the bottles being thrown rather at me. Now I turn away from that. Now I'm actually seeing the shooters come up. So when they see me and they see him the way he was positioned, the way I'm positioned, from my reputation, they pretty much thought I had a gun on me. So they was hesitant to actually walk up. So what they did was they shot at me from halfway through the projects, like the top of the hill.
Okay. And like I said, I watched the video and you were talking really reckless. Lead.
Pretty much thought I had a gun on me. So they was hesitant to actually walk up. So what they did was they shot at me from halfway through the projects, like the top of the hill.
Okay.
But my thing is like, my question is like other people, like, yo, my question is the same as everybody else's. Why isn't it on the live? How did the live stop? And then he's in the car. Like, it's so many questions that rise, especially with this interview. But then at the end of the day, it's like, damn, Hassan Campbell, you've lied before. You've lied throughout all your interviews. Each and every one of your interviews, your stories change. It's impossible to believe you. You sure they didn't rock your snot box with a, like, because your glasses are kind of crooked right now. And your eyes are kind of like, one is that way and the other one is that way. Give you a little Steve Urkel outfit.
Okay. And like I said, I watched the video and you were talking really reckless leading up to the situation, just to be fair. You were like, I'm going to go out with everybody, step outside. I don't give a fuck who got a problem. I'm here. I'll stab your ass to death. I'll throw your mother down a flight of stairs. I'll kill everybody. I dare you, etc., etc. Is that accurate?
Absolutely.
Okay. So when you were yelling this, were you yelling this at the guys throwing the bottles at you or the guys that were approaching you?
Well, I didn't see the guys approaching me, but for the most part, in my mind, I was like, to be honest with you, it was like I was in a suicide state. I was in a suicidal state of mind in that state, not in the state that I'm in now. The alcohol took me to a dark.
And that's the time when you should have stood off social media, thought about what was going, took the time to process the thoughts in your head. Took the time to process the thoughts in your head and figure out what your next move was going to be when it came towards a situation that is allegedly causing you so much pain. But then again, Why not bring this man to justice years ago if it's costing you so much pain?
Dark place of me being molested and me just going through all of the emotions of the people in Bronx River abandon me, never standing by me, never speaking up in a situation. Like, cause we gonna get into how Bronx River is like Africa Bambaataa was the boogeyman and the hero at the same time. And everybody used to whisper, keep your kids away from them, but they used to see kids with them and wouldn't snatch those kids away from them.
Okay. So you're yelling at the dudes at the, in the building that are throwing the bottles, and you're daring them to come down and threatening to kill everyone and so forth. The guys start to approach you. Do you know who these guys are?
They had masks on.
Oh, they had masks on. Okay. And they shoot you while you're standing there or when you're actually in the car?
While I'm standing
Right?
there. See, that's the
Okay.
crazy part about YouTube because everybody felt like that was edited. When they actually started pulling the guns out, for somehow YouTube just froze that whole part out during a live, and then it continued on when I got back in the car. I can't explain that. YouTube have to explain that one.
Right. Because the shooting part you're talking about is not actually on video.
No,
Okay. And
It's
was it
not.
two shots?
That John is not. That makes it seem even more fake. Like, yo, he really thinks that the world is stupid. But you know what's even crazier? There's people out here that actually follow him. There's people that actually listen to him. Me personally, I like when I first started following him, I really thought that he was real, that he was serious about his story. But then as time went by, you notice the lies. And it took somebody here on YouTube, shout out to Humble King, to really open up my eyes when it came to Hassan Campbell, yo. Like shout out to Humble King. I don't know what's been up with him for a minute. I haven't seen him here on YouTube, but hope everything's okay. Blessings to him and his family. But he was one of the ones that really opened up my eyes when it came to Hassan Campbell. Like it's just crazy how you can use a story to sit here and make money and not make a difference, not keep your word. Because you're saying you're going to help the youth. You're supposed to be the face and advocate for these kids that have been molested. But what is you doing besides talking about celebrities and bringing other people's kids down, bringing women down? What are you going to do? Because what's crazy, there's other people like me out here that actually do want to help the kid, that want to try to bring resources out for them and try to do this and try to do that for these kids. But it's hard because there's people out here like you that take these situations and these topics as a joke, as a game, and just want to profit out of it.
I believe it was on four, but the police only recovered two shells.
Okay. So four
But if there was 4 bullets, the police would have been able to recover 4 bullets. But you believe it was 4 and you were there.
shots get fired. You get hit in the shoulder.
Right here, and the bullet traveled to my back over here, and that's where it was taken out at.
Okay. Have you ever been shot before?
Yeah, I've been shot prior to this. So when I was shot in the year what 2000 I was shot before, and when I got to the hospital when they did the X-rays, they was kind of confused because there was more than one bullet. I actually have bullets in me, so yeah.
Okay. So you've gotten shot before, so you've been through this situation somewhat.
Yes.
So did you get a bullet removed that was there prior to this, or did you really get shot? But it's just crazy because the bullet wound that he showed on his live is way smaller than the caliber that he described. The wound is way smaller. It's kind of like, yo, I'm. What if he, them thingies that they use to pop the pimples? Y'all ever seen Dr. Pimple Popper? She has this little tool right here. It's like a little pincher, a little thingy that goes into the skin and it makes this little deep hole into your skin. They use it for the cysts and all that stuff. Like, I mean, listen, I don't know. I don't know. I had to look at my phone for this. Blessings, blessings. I'm not sure if I'm saying your name right. Oakley FC 415 HP. Says Hassan didn't get to that day in the Bronx. It was all cap. He just had a bullet removed from a previous shooting. And it's crazy because this person just hopped in right after I just said that. I don't know this person. Shout out to this person. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff off with his story. A lot, a lot. And this is who they're calling an advocate for our youth.
So once you get shot and you got your man with you, what happens to the shooters? Do they run off or do they want to finish the job?
Well, after the shooter shot, it was two guys, one gun. Unless the other one didn't pull his gun out, they started passing the gun back and forth. And once I seen that, I'm like thinking to myself, like, look at these clowns. That's all I.
He just said that. He said 2 shooters, 1 gun. 2 shooters, 1 gun. Tell me in what hood do you see 2 shooters and 1 gun? Either they both strapped or neither one. You know what? Hold on.
Unless the other one didn't pull his gun out, they started passing the gun back and
Hold
forth.
on, hold on.
After the shooter shot, it was two guys, one gun. Unless the other one didn't pull his gun out, they started passing the gun back and forth. And once I seen that, I'm like thinking to myself,
This nigga just said they were playing Mr. fucking Potato Head with the gun. He said only one had a glizzy. Only one had the blizzy. And yes, glizzy blizzy. When I was growing up, they used to call it glizzy. This glizzy shit, I don't know where it came from. The first time I heard it, I swear to God, I looked at the person like, you want a what? I'm like, you want me? Wait, what? A glizzy? I'm like, you want a gun? We was both like, wait, what? Yeah. I'm like, wait, where the hell? You know what? Topic for another live. Maybe somebody knows what I'm talking about.
Like, look at these clowns.
His
That's all I
nigga
could think.
Oh, he said they played hot potato before they hot potato. Which one of us is going to shoot him? They just threw the gun around. Hot potato, to see which one was going to shoot him, huh?
Think to myself, like they sent amateurs. These dudes couldn't even finish the job. You walking up on a dude that's 47 years old, fat, intoxicated, and screaming at the camera, ain't even looking. And
you should be ashamed right now because 47 years old in this type of behavior on social media and you want the youth to follow you. Listen, man, I wouldn't want my child to follow you at all. Listen, it's crazy that at first I felt bad for you. Like, and I'm not gonna say bad, it's like, damn, here's a survivor, he's a man and he's speaking up. But then it's like you're lying, like you're making it even more difficult for the men out there that don't want to speak up because of situations like this. You make people either not believe men can go through this or make fun of the situation of a person that went through this because it's hard to believe that they went through something like this because of y'all men like this. I hope I ain't ball nobody up by what I just said, but Hassan Campbell, boy. Bull. Let's go to the second video. Let's see what he has to say. I cannot believe this man. Yo, he really said. He said they played hot potato before they shot me. Hot potato. Y'all remember hot potato? Mr. Potato Head. It was even more fun when they came out with Mr. Potato Head. Shout out to Toy Story and the creators of Toy Story. Now we're gonna go for part 2 of this interview. Hold on 1 second, because I don't know why it did that. It took me all the way out. All right, so this is supposed to be part 2.
In your car,
No, why you do that? All right, so let's see what happened on part 2. So, guys, once again, I am reacting with y'all. I saw these. I'm not even sure what order they were, but I've seen maybe 2 or 3 clips that I've seen on somebody else's live, and I'm like, damn, it's 15 parts to this interview. Shit. We reacting together.
Okay. So you get shot and then what?
And I want to remind everybody, y'all more than welcome. Y'all can express how y'all feel right here. We're not here to judge nobody. This channel is to bring awareness, to bring the news, to talk about it, to bring stuff to the table and bring solutions. If you're not for that, listen, man, the door is right there. Just make sure the good Lord doesn't hit you with, the good Lord doesn't, the doorknob is right there. Just make sure the good Lord doesn't split you. Yeah, I just messed up the whole phrase. I don't know why, but hey, let's get to this right here. Right, Hassan Campbell. This was called Hassan Campbell on going to the hospital after getting shot, not cooperating with police. Did he cooperate with the police? Let's see.
Okay. So you get shot and then what? You jump in your car, your man's car? Like what happens next?
Well, I jumped in my car, and started going straight to the hospital.
All right. So you show up at the hospital bleeding. Did you think it was possibly worse than what it was? Did you think like, yo, I might die at this point, that the bullets is going to travel, something?
Absolutely, because
Yo, is anybody else noticing? Why is he so hunched up like that? Like, if he's got boobs or something and it's just like hurting his back, like he's sitting down like a little ass kid. But I know I'm not the only one. Like, this nigga has gained so much weight.
my whole thing was, I guess when the bullet stopped, it stopped like in my back area, like close to, I guess, where the lungs is at or whatever the case may be, not too far from the heart. Those are major arteries where it stopped at, but it was more or less close to the skin. So me not knowing, but I could feel the pain. I actually thought that I was hit twice because I know it went in here, but because it traveled where it traveled, that's why I thought I was hit twice. So um the first thing I was thinking is like, am I, is my lungs going to collapse? Will I be able, I'm just in panic mode now, in flight mode, in survival mode.
So your lungs in your arms now, huh? You're gonna die. That's crazy. Like, he really just made us. I understood what he was saying, but anybody else, the way he just said that, like, dude, you got shot in the arm and it traveled a little bit towards the back, and your lungs are a little bit lower than what you mentioned.
Okay. So you guys jump in your car and you go to the hospital and you're still live streaming some of the stuff while it's happening.
Yeah, I didn't realize that. I was actually trying to turn it off.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Mm.
You get to the hospital and they immediately operate on you.
But then he said that he was still streaming and he didn't do nothing to it. That you gotta ask YouTube. You don't know how the live stopped and everything. Well, you was trying to turn it off. You just admitted that. Like, let me go back a couple seconds. You was trying to turn it off. Listen, man. Like I said in the beginning, I've seen people do plays. I've seen shit being faked. Like, listen, even a bullet wound could be faked with the blood and all. For those of y'all that are wondering, but once again, this person right here could be right. So we won't know. Only God and Himself know if he faked it or not. But to me, it seems more like a fake. It's a play.
I guess to the hospital, they cut the clothes off, stop the bleeding, start cleaning the wound, and I didn't get the surgery until the next day.
Oh, so you had a bullet in you for a whole day.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
So I told y'all I had another video to show y'all, right? I'm gonna pause that right there, and then we're gonna continue that part of the interview real quick. I want to show y'all something because I noticed this earlier. when I was trying to look for the live so I could have it ready for y'all. Yeah, so I'm about to come here real quick. Hopefully y'all can see that. Was it on his lives? Nope, it wasn't on his lives. Let me see. I think it was on his video. Now, I'm going to try to pay attention to this video. Now, after he did his second live, after he got shot, he came on and he did a video called The Aftermath, right? And hopefully y'all can see this, which is this one right here, The Aftermath. Retaliation is a must. P. Diddy, Cassie, blah, 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 blah. So on here, he talks about how his wound was on the left side, right? And not on the right side. I mean, it was on the left side, not on the right side. That allegedly another YouTuber mirrored his live, but he was the one recording it. He was the one allegedly in the house. Listen, man, it's so much shit off that's not making sense. And two right now does not make four in his situation. So, anyways, he did this video, right? Now, apparently, his homie speaks up. I think he has another one over here. I guess it's right here. But he's talking about something else. All right. So apparently his homie speaks up on here, right?
Right, people.
His homie's taking his side on here, trying to explain what happened the day that Hassan Campbell got shot, and that it wasn't a play, that he was there. He saw how everything happened. Now let's listen to what his homie has to say. I didn't even know that he made this. Like, I haven't heard nobody speak on it. Like, this is crazy. So let's watch it.
This is Mr. Check.
And my bad for pausing it again. I want to thank everybody that's supporting Shorty. Make sure y'all subbed up, because once again, like I've said on all my other lives, I do not always schedule my lives because I do not like disappointing people. Like, I have a real life out here, so much stuff that I got to do. So thank you all that is helping a Shorty, spread and bring awareness when it comes to the things that have to do with the youth, the bullying, molestation, and much more, our schools, and much more. Thank you all. But let's listen to what he got to say.
AKA Trouble, the brother that was with me on the day when they tried to rock my snot box and hit him in the head with the headshot. So
he's still trying to be a rapper. Yo, the first time I seen Hassan Campbell was in 2016. First time I've seen one of his lives, 2016 going on 2017. That's crazy. 2019, 2018, 2019, I opened up my eyes. Like, damn, like, shit is crazy.
Being that all y'all bloggers that never met the man, trying to speak for the man, I said, well, why don't I just put him on this platform and let him speak for himself? So in your own words, like, what was going through your mind? How did your day start?
My day started crazy that day, man. I was in my bed throwing up. I had diarrhea, man. Left work early because of that. I get a phone call from the one and only Mr. Hassan Campbell.
That's me.
Yo, Mr. Checkmate must really love Mr. Hassan Campbell, because goddamn, you was in bed throwing up. Your morning started messed up. And your homie in the fucking Bronx out there, Bronx River, acting a fool, about to get his snot box rocked off his face, like he says.
He told me about suicide. We don't even talk that lingo. So to me, it raised a red flag. I jumped out of my bed. I said, you know what, man? Let me go holler at my bro. Especially when he told me he was going to Bronx River, knowing all the back history while I was away that was going on. So I called a couple of brothers up, like, yo, bro, meet me over here. You know what I'm saying? As you can see, you didn't see nobody because they came a little too late. But let's get to the story. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people was talking.
Let's get to the story.
One in particular the story I seen on YouTube, I pulled the phone out and I was body bluffing, faking, whatever you want to say. Let me explain something to you, little nigga. I don't do no faking, man. I didn't come out there to get busy. I came out there to get my brother because he was going through an issue. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people call themselves real. When you going,
It's crazy he out there screaming and shouting. He got a whole army behind him, but then here comes one of the minions and only minion to support him. But you're saying you wasn't there for no drama, no. You was there for a minute, oh hey.
through certain situations and you hear your brother in distress, the only thing you can do in those type of moments, whether you got a knife, a gun.
I don't know about y'all, but if my brother or my sister was in distress, I wouldn't just stand there from a distance and let him keep making or her making a fool of herself or himself on social media. I would come right up to them, pull the camera off of them, like, yo, bro, what you doing? You're not thinking about, what the consequences of this? You're not thinking about your wife, you're not thinking about your kids. Like turn that shit the fuck off. But no, he stood back there and let him still act a fool on social media. Come on, let's make it make sense, y'all. Let's hear what Mr. Checkmate has to say before we go back to the interview, because we're going to do a part 2 to this.
Gun, or you gotta come barehanded. Is you show up.
That's what?
You show up.
You show up.
Yeah, you show up. Because a lot of people didn't show up. It's people in the projects I knew was from day one. I heard the boom issue. Everybody wanted to know who I was. They trying to figure it out. It ain't nothing to figure out, man. Y'all seen the picture. He told y'all who I am, man. Go ask your big homies who I am, man. That's what you do, man. You know what I'm saying? But the thing that y'all need to understand in life, man, when you got somebody that's going through a problem, you don't turn your back on them.
You mean like how the whole community did when I came out?
I don't listen. You can see it in his face. Like, do you really want to say all this? Do you feel right? Do you feel comfortable saying all this? Because you wasn't wrong on what you just said, but you don't let your homie make a fool of himself either. You should have went straight up, like, yo, bro, like, you okay? Like, this is not how you handle the situation. Like, come on, let's get out of here. You would have tried to at least to convince him, but you stood back there. Whole community, Hassan Campbell, a community that you extorted, that you had allegedly set a curfew for, you robbed, hurt, killed. You think you still gonna be, you think they gonna have your back?
To tell my story about Africa Bambaataa when I went to Bronx River, not because I was mad because Cassie got money, because I could have sued Africa Bambaataa. I didn't want to sue him. I wanted the community to show up.
You know that
The community would have showed up if you would have stood up and really put him in jail, because you could have, if he really did what he did, if you had enough proof like you said you had back then, if you had people on your side back then, you could have took this to court and beat a case. But you said yourself you didn't want to see him in jail. You just wanted an apology. You said yourself, right, that you didn't want him arrested. You grown now. You're 47, right? You're almost 50 years old, Grandpa. Out here acting like you 20, acting like you 15.
the crazy thing about it, man, a lot of people say things, but when it's time to stand on it, they never stand on it, bro. We have these conversations, and I tell you this as a man. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of niggas in Bronx River that went through what you went through. And I know this for a fact because I was there at that time. But they won't speak on it because they don't want the criticism, man. It takes a big man to speak on certain things, man. I got people my pop's age from the Black Spades, from the Peacemakers. Shout out to Kool-Aid, man. that could come up here and tell you stories why African Bambaataa was never black spade or peacemaker, what made them star Zulu Nation.
Because of the rumors.
You know what I'm saying?
And let me say something real quick. What I want y'all to understand is it wasn't just about me being tough or him coming outside, I'm a stunting, acting like he got something when he ain't have something. It was about a cry for
Facts, acting like he ain't have something. And you could have sat at home and did that live in your house or in your car like you used to. But you decided to go into a community that you said that you extorted and set a curfew for, people that you robbed and killed, people that don't want you there. Who in their right mind will go back to a place that they sat there and did all them things to, unarmed, with nobody with them, just one goon that's pretending to have a gun but doesn't have one?
for help from the community to see if brothers and sisters would support me, not in going to court, not in getting a lawsuit. That can't change the narrative of my lifestyle. When it was time for me to go to court, I didn't want the bag. I wanted the backup, the love from the community.
You wasn't going to see. You taking him to court wasn't going to bring you a bag. You taking him to court was going to get you justice. It was going to get him handcuffed. Like, you say the dumbest shit on here. You taking him to court with the right proof, he would have been gone with the right people speaking up. But you didn't want him arrested because you was feeling bad. You feel bad for your abuser? After so long, after all these years, you're feeling bad still for your abuser. How about his victims? Do you feel bad for them? Because you brought this out here, right? You said you was going to put away the godfather of hip hop, but in reality, you never wanted to.
Not them looking the other way the same way they looked the other way when I was a child. And let me correct something right now, right? Since we here, the younger generation in Bronx River, shout out to little Brian, right? Shout out to that generation right there. Much respect to y'all. Y'all don't have nothing to do with this situation. And Bambaataa, y'all never even got a chance to meet that man. God protected y'all from that man. Shout out to little Brian. Shout out to big Brian. Shout out to Akeem. I know I came at Ak and some of the other brothers because I was listening to a certain YouTuber shout out Bronx River names that he didn't even know. So shout out to them. Shout out, much love to the people in Bronx River that don't have nothing to do. This generation right here, my beef ain't with y'all. I want to see y'all win. My problem is with them dudes that's 30 and up. They're standing out there watching y'all lives or watching y'all go down the wrong path. But I don't want to go too far off.
Like you? Because wasn't you the one that said that you was going to help guide these kids into the right direction? You was going to do all this, try to bring out programs and that and blah, 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 blah to help the youth. People have been donating for years, and I haven't seen you do nothing but rock chains on your neck and get drunk at night almost every single day.
Of topic, because this is about this brother right here telling you from his experience, what he experienced with me out there on the battlefield when I was crying out for help. If I went outside, y'all already know about the old Poppy, the way I went outside. Prepared for battle.
Let me stop it right there, right? You know what I'm saying? Let's get back on track with one thing, man. The most important thing that I want to say, when I got there and I see my bro with bottles thrown at him, which would have never happened when we was out in our days out there. New generation, new day at the time.
It'll never happen again.
You know what I'm saying? That's every day.
Not with me sober.
The reason why.
So why let him continue to be there? Me, I would have seen my homie in that situation. I would have walked up right to them, snatched the camera, turned it off, and try to get them or convince them to get in the car and let's get out of here. It's not worth it. There's no point in doing this. Half these people don't even know what you're talking about or why you're talking about it.
Why I'm saying that is this. It happened for a reason. The reason was when you're under influence and them emotions come out and them demons from that liquor start talking, because that's what he was talking. Poppy wasn't talking, it was the demons. But he was relating a message, and everybody missed the point of the message. The message wasn't about fuck Bronx River.
The curses.
Pardon me. It wasn't about the F Bronx River. It was more about help me stand for the community and the things that's going on in the past in Bronx River. A lot of people say, oh, these old heads. Yeah, but this is our life. This is our story. So when I get out there and I see this, and I see two dudes coming up the walkway, and I realize, because a shooter.
Did you see them play Mr. Potato Head with them? Hot potato. And they threw it to the next one. Hot potato. Like if the gun was on fire or some shit.
Realize a shooter. I said, nah, this ain't it, bro. Let's get up out of here. He looked back. He said, I see him. Nah, bro. See, that's the liquor talking. Because the common sense would say, yo, let's go. We wasn't packing. You know what I'm saying? Let's go. The shots were stoned. We get to the car. He like, I'm hit. I'm like, no, you're not. Because just like everybody on YouTube seen it, I ain't see no blood right here, nothing. It wasn't until we got out the car.
That's what I wanted y'all to. Let me turn around. Hold on. My camera's not on. That's what I wanted y'all to see. So I'm going this way. He's pointing at his left, right? Boom, boom. Right? Hassan Campbell got shot on the left. Now he's sticking to the left. But in that hospital, he was with the one with the camera. So that's the crazy part. Like, so yep, he's sticking to the left. But my thing is, like, damn, why is y'all trying to match y'all stories? Like, peep it.
Car at the hospital, I seen the blood in the back of the shirt. You know what I'm saying? So now, let me clear a few rumors up. That was on YouTube that I seen, man. Who gets shot and play with the camera? The man never touched this camera, besides to pick it up when he get in the car, because the bullets was coming so fast that the only thing he could do was grab his camera. He left his phone stand. He left.
But we all saw the video. Like, it just cut off. There was no shots heard before it cut off. None of that. All you heard was him saying, I see him. That's it. I see him. It cuts off and he's back in the car. But he just admitted a minute ago, right here in his live with you, that he was trying to turn the camera off. You said he wasn't trying to touch. He didn't touch the camera. He didn't do nothing. Y'all left everything behind. And he said he was trying to turn it off.
Left his book bag. So he couldn't even do that. So that's one rumor where, oh, he turned it off. Now, for y'all slick mouth talking dudes, let's just say he did. Let's give it the benefit of the doubt that the story.
Shout out to little Brian, right? Shout out to you today. I wanted to back up the love from
says it somewhere around here. So I'm gonna go back.
Did when I came out to tell my story about Africa Bambaataa, when I went to Bronx River
and do in those type of moments, whether you got a knife, a gun, or you got to come barehanded, is you show up. That's what you do. You show up.
You show up.
Yeah, you show up. Because a lot of people didn't show up. It's people in the projects I knew was from day one. I heard the rumors. Everybody wanted to know who I was. They're trying to figure it out. It ain't nothing to figure out, man. Y'all seen the picture? He told y'all who I am, man. Go ask your big homies who I am, man.
Now, dropped it in a little metal plate.
If y'all rewind back, y'all will see him say that he was trying to turn the camera off. Right now, I'm trying to keep up because I'm not trying to hit 2 hours on here. Let me see how long I've been on here. I've been on here an hour, 9 minutes, 56 seconds, going on 57. So let's continue. Right? So let's play.
Mm-hmm.
The bag was right there, dropped it in the bag, and then the police was there to sign off, which I
spent the whole night in Jacoby on the first time so far fast that the only thing he could do was grab his camera. He left his phone stand, he left his book bag. So he couldn't even do that. So that's one rumor where he turned it on.
But a lot of y'all seen the live, so and it's right there, still on his YouTube. So
now for y'all slick mouth talking dudes, let's just say he did. Let's give it the benefit of the doubt that the story narrative y'all want to paint. That ain't what a gangster's supposed to do. He don't supposed to let the shooters get caught if we hold him caught in the street, or he's supposed to let him get caught on camera. So either way, it don't make sense. It don't make sense, man. So think about what you're saying before you say it. Number two, when we got to the hospital, the first hospital wouldn't even want to take us. It wasn't until the police pulled up.
So y'all pulled up to a hospital, went to the ER, and an ER will not take a wounded victim. Now that's the first time I've ever heard that. A hospital not taking a wounded victim.
And made them take us because of the fact that he was shot. They said they don't do trauma unit here. So they put him in the hospital. They sat in the hospital, cleaned his wounds, took x-rays, and kept him there 2 hours until the paramedics came to move us to Jacoby. You know what I'm saying? When we got to Jacoby, we spent the whole night in Jacoby on the first floor waiting to go upstairs, which we never went to. You know what I'm saying? And then they came in and took the bullets out. Now, when that happened, the police came. The crazy thing about it is the police already knew who he was through YouTube. So this is how he gets the bag that he shows the bullet in. It was
The police already knew who he was through YouTube. Did you just throw him under the bus, Boo Boo? I think he did. The police knew who he was through YouTube. You just making it. You just proving a lot of these YouTubers right. This is all scripted. This is all a play. For what though? What is you gonna gain out of it but money? But you probably losing subscribers right now. Maybe not. A lot of people like this fake shit. See, you know what's the crazy? When somebody tells you the truth to your face, you don't believe it. When somebody tells you a lie to your face, you believe it. And that's what's happening with a lot of people right now. A lie was told to their face, or a story was told to their face that was made up, and they believed it. To them, listen, man, I don't know what's up with people.
conversation. He pulled out his phone. We talking. He said, let me see that. And the police let him see it in the bag, in the evidence bag.
First of all, you skipping out on a part.
Okay.
The police they had to call the police to retrieve the bullet. So when the nurse took the bullet out of my back, with me sitting up, wide awoke, cut my back.
Why not let him finish his story? Why you gonna cut in and put into his story?
Open, plucked the bullet out, dropped it in a little metal plate.
Mm-hmm.
The bag was right there, dropped it in the bag, and then the police was there to sign off, which I got the footage of that. That'll be coming out soon, whenever I get ready to put it up. I figured out, like, see, what's amazing to me, right, is how all these platforms is talking about I'm clout chasing my life. Y'all made more money off of my situation than me. My name is ringing on the internet in y'all titles. Meanwhile,
I ain't making money off this shit, so hey, I'm sorry, but not all of us is making money. We ain't all Hassan Campbell. We not looking up to Hassan Campbell. We not following Hassan Campbell. So I can't agree with you. So I'm sorry, I disagree.
I haven't been posting videos up for the whole month.
You
Bullshit.
know, the thing about life that's so funny, man.
So let's go back to the interview, guys. I just wanted y'all to hear that and see that. Like he just kept right here and right here. And I didn't see the blood until we got to the hospital. But if it was a through and through, he would have been bleeding before he got to the hospital, before he got into that bed. There would have been blood on his hoodie for the simple fact of how long y'all was waiting. But hey, I guess not. Let's finish hearing what he got to say to Vlad TV.
The pain like during that time.
Pure hell.
Ooh,
And they finally do the operation and they pull the bullet out, and you actually showed it, on your YouTube video.
Yeah, see, a lot of people didn't understand, they like how he get the bullet because the nurse came in and took it out. She had the bag ready, but before she could actually do the surgery, when she was done, that's when the police officer actually he comes, he retrieves the bullet, and they takes it away. But before he took the bullet away, I actually got a chance to actually look at it. I was actually trying to figure out what caliber it was, but I wasn't sure.
Right, because at that point it's evidence.
Yes.
I thought he said it was a 40 caliber. Now he don't know.
Okay. And some people are saying that this whole thing is fake, it's all staged, but there's an actual police report, there's an actual bullet, you're actually in the hospital. I'm sure if I asked you to take your shirt off, you could show me the wound. I'm not going to ask you to do that. But I didn't see this as bullshit at all. I saw this as, okay, this is a serious situation.
Yeah. Is Vlad TV gassing this man up?
Be serious. Very, very serious to the point to where that, it became a game of it's not real instead of, okay, what could we actually do to figure out how to, heal this brother or help this brother? What's the problem? Nobody wants to get down to the root of the problem.
The police come in, and do you cooperate at that point?
Absolutely not. Police came in. They asked me who shot me. I said they had masks on with badges. They got pissed off. They came back, asked me some questions or whatever the case may be, and I made it clear to them I'm not testifying. Like, that's not my thing.
I mean, two people that you probably don't know just try to kill you.
Right.
You guys were involved in a crime together. I don't personally consider this snitching from my point of view. You're a victim at this point. You're not, you guys didn't go. There's not a drug deal gone bad or something of that sort. Like you're just literally, there is some fault obviously in your, from you as well. You're sitting there wilding out and causing a ruckus, but you're not posing.
The question is he a victim? Is he really a victim? Let me ask y'all a question. Do y'all see Hassan Campbell as a victim, or do y'all see him as somebody that is just out here taking advantage of a situation?
A threat to anybody at that point. And ultimately, two guys come and they're aggressive towards you and you end up getting shot. I don't personally see a problem with cooperating. Why do you see a problem?
I don't see two guys playing Mr. Potato Head with a gun being aggressive towards him, but hey, let me know if y'all ever seen a gangster play Mr. Potato Head to try to shoot somebody. Like anybody that's in the streets, like, do y'all play like y'all say here and all right, we got this motherfucker. Let's sit here and let's play Mr. Potato Head. Let's see which one of us is gonna, get the gun and end up with it last, and whoever stays with the gun at the end is the one that's gonna shoot. I don't think. Hey, but hey, whoever wants to believe this man, go ahead.
Well, first and foremost, I mean, I lived that life, for many, many years out of my life in the past. So for me to dish it out and not be able to take it, if you can dish it out, you should be able to take it. I've dished it out plenty of times. Now I got to take it. I got to hold that. That's what warriors do.
So now he's just got to take it, huh? So he's dished it out plenty of times. Now he's got to take it. Yo, I've never seen somebody as bold as him to do this. Nope, this is not it. Let's go. I'm gonna put part 3 and then I'm gonna end this because, like I said, I'm not trying to do a 2-hour live. Go past a 2-hour live. My bad. I was only trying to do an hour and a half, but hey, this is crazy. So here's the other video.
Okay. You know, the streets talk and information will start to flow around and so forth. At some point, you may or may not find out who
Yeah,
these
what was
guys
you on
are.
my screen?
Do you feel a sense of anger, a sense of revenge, or do you feel like, you know something, I messed up, I put myself in this fucked up position, and that's just part of the game at this point.
Well, I mean, my whole thing is like this, right? New York is a small city. If I find out who did what they did, we'll figure it out. We'll take it from there. I'll see how I feel when I cross that road. But for right now, it's like, everything happens for a reason. Me personally, I feel like um, I kind of sort of like let my people down. I have a strong following. I let them down because I got caught up in my emotions, and I got to show them better than what.
Caught up in your emotions. You are worse than a female on her period. Better yet, you're worse than a woman that's pregnant and is going through it. And what I mean by that is like when she goes through them cycles, like she can't get what she wants to eat or she doesn't get her way. And she goes through the mood swings throughout her pregnancy. That's how you is.
Than what I showed them, because it's not about me being a gangster, me being tough. It's about me going through moments that a lot of people go through. I don't care if you black or you white. Pain is universal, and when you come from poverty and pain, there's a trigger for everybody. So at that moment, I was at my weakest state. It's the holiday season. Uh, my mother wasn't around anymore. I was depressed and just going back into a deep, dark place of my childhood. It triggered that. So, it's
Even more of a reason for you that throughout these times, off of social media, better yet, stay off of it all the way. Social media has affected Hassan Campbell to the point that this man can't tell the difference between reality and a play. It's like he takes joy in all this. And it's crazy how he says this when he's interviewed with Vlad TV, but throughout all other interviews, he says complete different stories. Yes, I said it just like that. He has different stories throughout all other interviews that he's had with different YouTubers or different platforms.
it's not about me just getting revenge. It's just about the people understanding how somebody that's been in a similar situation as me, we can heal each other.
Well, I'm glad.
I like this. There's no healing. The way you're doing things, it's like so much hate in what you're doing, so much toxic in what you're giving out. You're so toxic. You've gone so dark.
Glad you're okay.
Or was he already dark? Is the question.
This is our first time actually talking, our first time, actually doing an interview, but I've seen you for quite some time and you do have a following and you do have people that actually support you. And not everyone's going to agree with you. And that's just life. Not everyone agrees with me either. But this YouTube shit is not worth your life. And it's also not worth being crippled and so forth. You could have gotten shot in the head. You could have lost your arm.
Mm-hmm.
You could have ended up in a wheelchair. You could have ended up shit bagged. Like you ultimately got somewhat lucky in this whole situation. You have to admit that to yourself.
Absolutely. But see, at the whole thing to it is it's like, okay, so now we sitting here on Vlad TV, you know, one of the best in the game. Argue you are arguably the best in the game, and
Yo, he just said you won a bested in game when just months ago, just a year ago, and years before that, he was talking mad crap about Vlad TV. Like, yo, every interview that Vlad TV, yo, he was calling him a snitch. He was calling him fake. He was calling him a fraud. Listen, I could just keep going down the line of everything that he was saying. And now he's kissing his so bad to the point that it's like, yo, you don't see how you're contradicting yourself. This is crazy. This man really on Vlad TV. The hypocrisy is crazy. It's real. The hypocrisy is real when it comes to Hassan Campbell.
it's like now you leading down the path of questions where people could sit up there and say, okay, how can we deal with these situations in our community? To as you know, because my whole thing is black people we always have to go get the white hero because when it comes amongst ourselves, we ain't shit. Because the reality of it is, so many black content creators swayed away from the original content of just being in a broken place of where we need
So, what makes you any different from them content creators? Because you're doing the same thing and worse.
healing. And instead of dealing with that, is oh, he crashed out. Okay, why did I crash out? Let's get to the root of it. So we can, bring about awareness in the communities of the things that goes, that have us in this state, the state of mind that we're in. Because every time you see a young black boy in the street, 12 and 13 years old, picking up a gun and end up in jail for 25 years out of his life, you have to ask, what caused so much anger that
So, you telling me that what you did was a better example. Just fuck it. Let your emotions go because you sat here and was speaking to a bottle of whatever you was drinking that night and went out to the community with a knife in your pocket, threatening people like if you wasn't going to get touched, like if you're untouchable, like if you're Hawk, like if you're Superman, like if you're God himself. You look for smoke, you're going to get smoked. So at the end of the day, that's why I told a lot of people, listen, man, I don't feel bad for this man. The hypocrisy in this man is real. That was a real short video that he had on her. So I'm gonna play one more and really end it. Like I thought that was gonna be a longer video. I didn't even peep. That was like a 3 minute video. Damn. So I am gonna do a part two to this probably later on today, probably tomorrow. Y'all not subbed up. Make sure y'all subbed up. I want to thank everybody that is supporting the shorty, that's helping the shorty, that's sharing the videos, that is commenting, is leaving y'all comments. Because believe it or not, your comments might help a shorty out when she's putting that footwork out here in the community.
Okay.
This is part
You
4.
know, the streets talk and information will start to flow around and so forth.
Another 4 minute
At some
video?
point, you may or may not find out who these guys are. Do you feel a sense of anger, a sense of revenge, or do you feel like, you know something, I messed up, I put myself in this fucked up position, and that's just part of the game at this point.
well, I mean, my whole thing is like this, right? New York is a small city. If I find out who did what they did, we'll figure it out. We'll take it from there. I'll see how I feel when I cross that road. But for right now, it's like, everything happens for a reason. Me personally, I feel like um, I kind of sort of like let my people down. I have a strong following. I let them down because I got caught up in my emotions, and I got to show them better than what I showed them, because it's not about me being a gangster, me being tough. It's about me going through moments that a lot of people go through. I don't care if you black or you white. pain is universal. And when you come from poverty and pain, there's a trigger for everybody. So at that moment, I was at my weakest state. It's the holiday season.
Pain is universal, but this is you as an advocate. You're supposed to go about the situation a different way. You're supposed to show these kids a different route. You allegedly are an advocate, right? Why not teach these kids how to handle that pain? But you're 47 years old telling them that you still don't know how to handle this pain, that you still see yourself as a victim. And if you still see yourself as a victim, why are you out here speaking in a way that won't even better yourself? Why are you out here speaking? You have to better yourself in order to come out here and help others. But you know, there's a saying, right? In order to love anybody else, you have to learn how to love yourself. And Hassan Campbell shows that he doesn't love himself or anybody else.
Uh, my mother wasn't around anymore. I was depressed and just going back into a deep, dark place of my childhood. It triggered that. So, it's not about me just getting revenge. It's just about the people understanding how somebody that's been in a similar situation as me, we can heal each other.
Well, I'm glad you're okay. This is our first time actually talking, our first time, actually doing an interview, but I've seen you for quite some time and you do have a following and you do have people that actually support you. And not everyone's going to agree with you. And that's just life. Not everyone agrees with me either. But this YouTube shit is not worth your life. And it's also not worth being crippled and so forth. You could have
Am I
gotten
playing the
shot in the
same
head.
one?
You could have lost your
Oh,
arm.
God.
You know, you could have ended up in a
Damn, I do
wheelchair.
apologize. Hold
You
on
could
one
have ended
second.
up shit bagged. You ultimately got somewhat lucky in this whole situation. You have to admit that to yourself.
Absolutely. But see, at the whole thing to it is it's like, okay, so now we sitting here on Vlad TV, you know, one of the best in the game. You are arguably the best in the game, and it's like now you leading down the path of questions where people can sit up there and say, okay, how can we deal with these situations in our community? To as because my whole thing is black people we always have to go get the white hero
Here we go. My bad,
because when it
guys.
comes amongst our
I apologize for that. Here we go. This is part four right here.
Okay.
All right, so this was Hassan Campbell on what led up to him being abused by Africa Bambaataa.
So let's talk about the root of what happened. And let's start at the very beginning. So you grew up in these same projects that this incident happened, right?
right.
Um, your background is it Mexican?
No, African American, if that's what they want to
Okay.
call us.
For some reason, Mexican showed up in my notes.
God.
You know how New York is. I mean, well,
Yo, he just called him Mexican. Could it be because he calls himself Poppy? I mean, Poppy, like, from Beverly Hills, Chihuahua. But damn, Poppy for a grown ass man. Like, you keep calling yourself Poppy, like, daddy. Like, say that in English. Like, when he says it in English, it's like, I'm Poppy. Poppy's here. Daddy's here. Daddy's here. Or is it Poppy, like, from the Trolls? And wouldn't that be a girl name? But hey, to each his own.
not usually Mexican. We usually a lot of dudes are mixed with Dominican or Puerto Rican and so forth. And your name is, your nickname is Poppy. So I figured there was some Spanish descent somewhere.
Yeah.
Okay. And growing up, your dad wasn't around, right?
Do y'all believe he's mixed? Hmm. Somebody in the comments said, honestly, watching this, I think Hassan should have went to a therapist instead of. I've been saying the same shit. This nigga need mental health.
Oh, he would pop up here and there. He was a dope fiend.
Okay. And your mom had troubles as well.
My mother wasn't on drugs. She was like dealing with a lot of sickness.
Okay. And you had 5 brothers and sisters?
It's 6 of us all together from my mother.
Okay. And you described your upbringing as dysfunctional.
Very.
Explain.
I mean, I grew up like I don't even know where to start. Being that my mother grew up in a dysfunctional home where her sisters was living with a child predator. Her and her sisters had to go through the same thing I went through. It just trickled down. I don't know if that's the family curse, but her stepfather was an Africa Bambaataa. He was the same type of person. So, me growing up, I went through similar situations since I could go back to like the age of 5, going through multiple different people molesting me before Africa Bambaataa. So before
Okay. So how old were you when you first got molested?
probably about 4 or 5 years old, young.
By who?
Yeah, it started off with a female that my mother had babysitting me.
Okay. You're 5 years old, man. That's a baby.
Yeah,
You can tell
I was
you
I
don't
was
even know you.
Believe it or not, right? On some serious stuff. Listen, man, there are women out here, and I suggest that a lot of you women, a lot of you moms out here that are, raising boys, that are raising sons. Watch your surroundings. Be careful of your surroundings. For the simple fact that there are women out here that you bring into your house that are capable of sitting here and looking at your 5-year-old or 6-year-old or 7-year-old, 8-year-old, 9-year-old, 10-year-old son in an appropriate way, and you don't even know about it or don't even know what's going on. Some boys go with it, some are scared and don't know how to speak up, some don't care. Some get scared, some get traumatized. So when it comes to that, I don't want y'all to think that boys don't get molested, boys don't get touched. They do. What's crazy is Hassan Campbell, if you went through this, therapy would have been the proper place to go. Some type of help. But you decided to take a different route. We all have options. We all have choices. And Hassan Campbell decided to, I guess, take the route of, how can I say it? Going out here and lashing out and treating people bad, even to the point where he even confessed to, and you know what's crazy? I'm not sure if he says it on this video, if he also talks about it on this video, but I know in the past he has confessed to have touched little kids himself. So that makes him an abuser also. And in my opinion, Hassan Campbell, you talk about so much pain that you carry because your abuser is allegedly free out there. But my thing is, how about the pain or the trauma? Well, the pain and trauma that you caused to your victims, let's say alleged victims, because I wasn't there and I don't know if it's true what you're saying. Where's the justice for them? Why aren't you behind bars? But let's keep listening to his interview.
You don't even know how to read at 5 years old.
I was molested by multiple people. It was a stair, it was just stair steps and then Africa Bambaataa. He wasn't the first one. He was just
Oh,
the oldest one and the one with the most influence over the community. He was a pillar.
okay. So leading up to Bambaataa, was it? You mentioned it was a female. Was it females and males, or just females before that?
Females and one male.
Okay.
But see, the thing about it is with the male that I went through the experience with, he was still a child himself.
Okay. How old was he?
About maybe 4 or 5 years older than me.
And you were how old?
About 6.
Okay. All right. So you're going through all this, and then you meet Africa Bambaataa, who's the founder of the Zulu Nation, around age 13,
12.
12.
Actually, I didn't meet him at 12 years old. I knew the man my whole life.
Okay. Well, he would come by and
Yeah, we grew up in the same neighborhood.
uh,
So I would see him every single day of my life.
so Planet Rock came out in 1982, and that was his biggest song, and that became
This man was molested by different people before Africa Bambaataa, right? But Africa Bambaataa was a part of his whole life. It didn't start touching him until he was 12. What changed? Hmm.
kind of a staple in hip hop. I mean, it's gotten sampled hundreds of times and so forth. So by 89, he was already a hip hop superstar. He had already toured around the world and so forth. I would assume he wouldn't be living in the same place he grew up in.
That's where you would assume wrong, because you have to understand something. He's never left the hood ever. He may have had like, for example, he had a house in Connecticut, but he's always kept himself like around the village where he was able to deal with all the children. Like,
But if he was traveling and making music and stuff, he had to leave the hood. So obviously he was period. There was periodic times that he was out of the hood. He wasn't always there. Hassan Campbell is not making sense.
like literally, you got the community center right there in the middle of Bronx River, and then you have the building that
If he owns everything, he could be having people that rent it for him.
he was from, whether it was 7-5, I mean 9-5 or 1609, because it was the both of them. And then, back when I was going to high school, and Harry S. Truman, he also had an apartment over in Mark Terrace. So he kept himself close where he was able to have kids come to his house. He's never left the hood.
Okay. And the Zulu Nation, I mean, that was a very powerful entity in hip hop. A part
Yo, Hassan Campbell got one eye that's tearing up and one eye that's not. It's like he's trying to make himself try to cry, but I'm not sure. But if y'all do notice that, let us shorty know in the comments.
apart from Africa Bambaataa, of course. I mean, Fat Joe, I think, is Zulu Nation. Um,
Queen
I think
Latifah,
Queen Latifah, I
Q-Tip,
mean, Run DMC,
everybody.
Public Enemy. I mean, I remember Night of the Living Bassheads when Chuck D was like, "Here it is, bam!" And then there's Africa Bambaataa in the music video.
Yeah.
And I mean, me being a hip hop head, I mean, I bought
Has anybody noticed that for somebody that has been abused by somebody somebody that's been abused by Africa Bambaataa, which Hassan Campbell says he has, he kind of smirks a lot when he talks about him. He kind of praises him a lot. Like, you're 47 years old. I would understand this for somebody that's been in a relationship and they got what they call that Stockholm syndrome, like a woman or something like that, or a teenage boy or a little boy. But you're somebody that has supposedly have already gotten away from him and everything, like, but you praise him. Like, a lot of people, even though they're not victims no more and they see themselves as survivors, they couldn't stand the thought of being around their abuser. You love the fact of just bringing up his name. It brings a smirk out your face. Like, this is crazy.
Planet Rock on 12-inch. I remember the importance of Africa Bambaataa. I've even interviewed him a couple of times. And I remember, I think it was our second interview when, I was doing a lot of interviews with Lord Jamar at the time, and he was talking about how, from his point of view, homosexuality has no place in hip hop and so forth. And I brought that up to Bambaataa. This was before the accusations. And he had a very sort of uncomfortable answer. He kind of dodged the question.
I saw that. And that's
You
what
saw
he
that, right?
that's what he said, that little crazy nonsense out of his mouth. And I just laughed to myself, like, because I knew what he meant. I knew what his mind was at. Yeah. He just,
Y-
for some reason, he will never come out of the closet because, first of all, he's part of the Moorish community. So I don't see him ever coming out the closet admitting to who he is.
Oh, you got all type of people out there with all type of things, whether they be gay, straight, or whatever's out there, and they do they different style or whatever they doing on the planet. So you don't know what styles of hip hop or what people are doing. Whatever they do behind a closed door, that's to each and all of them. So I couldn't say what that's the saying like that ain't got nothing to do with Christianity, Islam, or Judaism. Ain't got nothing to do with whatever politician or whatever's happening out there. So we cannot say who's what and who's what.
Okay, I mean, as one of the founders of hip hop, do you see it like an outwardly gay rapper coming out and being accepted by the hip hop community?
I couldn't even say. You have to look online to all that to see who's a gay rapper, who said that they a gay rapper and out there rapping whatever they rapping to.
Hmm. So he didn't admit to being gay. He didn't say that he felt any type of way towards people that, are part of the LGBT community or anything like that. Kind of did dodge the question. But Hassan Campbell, do you dodge it?
Right. Like I said, at the time, there was no accusation. So this was just a random question to a hip hop guy that I was interviewing. Like there was no, I didn't have any, you know, background info or anything else like that. But I do remember his answer was a little bit odd, uh, you know?
No, it's not. Blessings, 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 everybody. My bad. I didn't even notice. Blessings, Nate the Great Podcast. How you doing? Oh. Like I said before, Hassan Campbell is the worst role model on social media. He should not be an advocate for our children. For those of you moms out there, for those of you dads out there that are saying that Hassan Campbell is a role model for your kid, I just want you to answer this one question. What has Hassan Campbell helped the youth do? How is he helping them? How is he guiding them into the proper path? Like everything that he has done here on social media, if one of these young men follow into his steps, it could cost them their life. Hassan Campbell recently has shown us that he does not care if he loses his life or not, just to earn money on YouTube, to speak on a story that a lot of us don't know if it's true or not. And the reason why I say that is that right? Somebody that's been abused, especially a real role model, won't be crashing out, especially on social media. That's a fact. That's a fact right there. And I'm going to leave that right there. So a role model wouldn't be behaving the way he's behaving on here. And for some reason, a lot of people like this attention. You got a lot of people, that's positive on here on social media. You got a lot of people that are are out here actually trying to guide the youth into the right path. Me, along with a lot of other people, I know I'm not the only one that feels like this. We're tired of trying to get a lot of the adults to come together and try to help our youth because we can do it. What's crazy is, right? At first, I thought that I was like, damn, let me get the people together. Let me do this. Let me do that. But I have to sit here and I have to show y'all that we could do this. But I have to do this on my own and let y'all see that this is how we got to do it because our kids are listening. Y'all think they not. A lot of y'all are just so toxic and so negative that y'all can't see past y'all pain. Y'all can't see past what you've been through. And because you've been through this, because this happened to you, you think that this child is going to do what you did. This child is going to make the same choice that you did. This child is going to go in the same path that you did. But not every kid is like that. And it's messed up that a lot of these adults make these kids feel the way that they do. A lot of these kids sometimes end up doing what they do when they grow up is because of who they look up to. And a lot of y'all not seeing that part. We are the role models. Whether it's the parent, whether it's an uncle, whether it's a grandma, a friend, somebody in the neighborhood, we are a role model to them. Celebrities, a lot of you adults try to push the celebrity into these kids, not realizing that not every celebrity is a role model. We are the problem. And as crazy as this man right here, I don't see him as an advocate. For those of you women out here that want to throw, come at me, give me lashback like y'all done before, listen, this is an open panel. Y'all more than welcome to speak up and let us shorty know how y'all think that Hassan Campbell is the best advocate out here for our youth. Y'all let me know how he has helped our youth. So for anybody out here that thinks that Hassan Campbell is the perfect role model for our young men, you tell me how. You tell me why you think that's true. You tell me if you will leave your child with Hassan Campbell an hour or two, maybe a day. Would you let Hassan Campbell raise your child? Do y'all see how he treats his kids on social media? Hey, but we're here, right? Like I said, y'all have an opinion, it's right there. Don't leave it in the comments. Don't leave it in the comments. Like, and I'm saying an opinion, like saying that Hassan Campbell is the perfect role model. Y'all more than welcome right here in the chat. Y'all can come up and let me know. Don't leave it in the comments after I end the live. Like, oh, I think Hassan Campbell is this. He's never changed his story. He's da 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 da. No. Role models don't come out here in public and shout and scream to the point where they could lose their life, not caring if their wife and their kids are going to be safe after the dumb shit that they've come out in the hood to say. They don't make the kids think that gangs don't retaliate, that people out here won't come out and rock your snot box out your face like he says. We in the hood, you do the stuff that he does. Listen, he's lucky because if all that was real that happened that day on that live, he's lucky to have made it out with just one bullet wound in his fucking arm that made it to the back. Because a lot of people don't make it alive in situations like that in the hood. Yes, hurt people who don't get help will hurt people. And this man is hurt. I don't know if it's because of the story that he's telling us, because of what he went through with Africa Bambaataa, but he's hurt. And he's trying to pass it on to others. I will not ever, ever let my kids be around this man. If y'all want to, y'all more than welcome. If you think he's a great man, hey, that's your opinion. I'm not going to judge you for it. But I'm going to let you know that in my opinion, he's not a role model. He's a little boy in a grown man's body that doesn't know what he wants in life.
Okay.
Guys,
So you've always seen Bambaataa around.
we're about to hit 2 hours and I'm about to end it right after this. Now I am. Now I got a couple videos in. I'm going to do a part 2 probably later on tonight. If I don't do it tonight, make sure y'all subbed in because I will end up doing it tomorrow. I just got a lot going on. In a couple hours, I got to go to physical therapy and then I got to do what I got to do after that. So listen, thank you all for supporting the short. And like I said, leave y'all comments. Like, what do y'all think about Hassan Campbell? Should he be on social media? Should he stay on social media? What are y'all opinions about his behavior? Do y'all think that YouTubers like Hassan Campbell should be canceled? Leave y'all opinions. What do y'all really think? Like, but leave opinions, leave comments that could actually bring solutions to the table. You got some toxic shit to say? Listen, the door's right there. Just make sure the doorknob doesn't hit you with a good Lord split you.
But then was it around 12, 13 where you actually got sort of involved in Zulu Nation, started spending more time with them?
Yeah.
Okay. And what really led you to doing that?
Well, see, growing up in Bronx River and being a part of the Zulu Nation, you had a lot of warriors that was part of the Zulu Nation. It was guys that you really, really looked up to and you wanted to be a part of them. It's almost sort of like the gang culture that's going on right now. But the difference was you had some killers in the Zulu Nation. You had some break dancers in the Zulu Nation. You had some rappers. You every once in a while you would see LL Cool J. You would see Ice T. You would see everybody. So it's like now you got the. It's like right now going around Little Wayne and Young Thug and all these younger ones right now. The kids is gonna go crazy. So now when you seeing, because it wasn't just so much about Africa Bambaataa, it was about the family. Everybody in Bronx River was part of the Zulu Nation. Our parents grew up in the Zulu Nation, and it was the older generations. And now you get to see the warriors, and you just wanted to be a part of that. Like, for example, you don't really hear his name too much. Bo was a big inspiration in my life that made me want to be a part of the Zulu Nation, and my big brother Jerry. These were dudes in that time that were strong, real strong brothers.
Hmm.
Okay, so you started hanging out with Africa Bambaataa. You're 13 or so at the time, and you said he was like a father.
But you knew him your whole life and started hanging out with him at 12. The man raised you kind of, he was like a father to you, right? So what made him stop seeing you like a son and start touching you like a lover? I mean, I know shit happens. I know people get molested, but his stories change so much that it's like,
To you,
Right,
and you didn't have your father around. He was in and out on drugs.
right.
Okay, so at what point did it turn into just an innocent relationship to something going wrong?
Um,
um,
yeah. Where do I
um.
start with that? Is him
When you hear the he's thinking real hard about what to say. They won't make him look stupid, but he'll still look stupid.
being in the house, coming with the tapes, the Reseal, the Vaseline, the porn, and it's like, oh, okay, this is getting weird. Like I give you an example. What one day when me and Eric was there, and we in we
At 12 and 13, especially when you've been through what you've been through and you've seen the signs, you will walk away. And allegedly, you just started hanging out with him at that time. So you had time to walk away. Like, if you've been through it before, it'll be like something inside of you is telling you, like, no, man. It'll put that little probably fear in you, but not to close you or lock you down, but to make you like, yo, I can't be here. I got to get out. But you chose to keep being there, not just as a preteen, but as a young teen adult, and from there on to a young man, from a young man to a man. Because the last time that you was with Africa Bambaataa, you was 33 years old, I think it was, when around the time that was a little before you came out saying that he was your abuser. And that's what's got everybody like, damn, you a grown ass man now. You could defend yourself, you could fight, you could speak up, you could do all this, unless he's got something on you that's not letting you do what you're supposed to do and put him away. Because what's crazy is along the road, you had some victims too. And I'm hoping Vlad touches on to it. I'm gonna do a part 2 to this. But like I said earlier, where is the justice for your victims? For the people that you touched, that you molested? Whether you was a teenager or not, these kids don't got justice. They got pain too.
in the
Oh, and not just that, how you make a confession like that on social media in front of thousands of people, and you're telling me that not one investigation is put towards your way? You're telling me not one FBI, one police officer, one detective has knocked on your door after you confessed what you confessed? See, that right there, along with other reasons, leads me to think that, damn, is your confidential informant? Are you a confidential informant? I don't know if I should look at your big ass head over here on the screen or at your little ass head here on the laptop. Which head do I ask? The small one or the big one? But I forgot the glass bottle hit your brain, which is inside your skull. The bullet almost hit your lungs, which was inside your arms. Remember, you could have lost your life both ways.
Office / workout room, the room next to the bathroom, 1609. So we in that room, and it's a weight bench in there, and
Shit, I hit 2
me and
hours
Eric,
already.
we working out. We on the bench pressing. Bam comes in the room. He got the Polaroid camera, and now he's convincing us. Oh, look at those muscles. So now he gassing us up to take our shirt off so we could flex our muscles. And when he walked out of the room and he started doing the clicking, he clicking with the camera. Me and Eric, we looks at each other, and he was like, "Yo, you seen that episode of Different Strokes when Arnold and Dudley?" And it was the same situation with them, So that takes you back to one of our experiences with Bam. This is what he do.
And once again, being in a situation like that and your gut telling you that this is not right, why stay there? You was already being abused before. But I get it. It's like you said, shout out to Miss 504 because she brought it to a lot of people's attention. Dude, you said it was open season once Bam got to you. Open season, like if it's duck season, deer season. Like if we're in a motherfucking Looney Tunes and Elmer Fudge is out here hunting Bugs Bunny or Daffy Duck. Open season. That shit, when you said that, I'm sitting here, I'm like, yo, he did make it seem like, I don't know if any of y'all seen that movie called Open Season with the bear. My daughter loves that damn movie. I think it's on Disney. Open season, though? No victim says that, nor does a survivor.
Okay. At one point, they actually start to molest you, though, after showing you
Yeah,
tapes and so forth.
absolutely.
At that point, he started to actually.
He follows you in the bathroom. Now when you go in the bathroom, he got to go in the bathroom with you, and he's peeing at the same time. It's like he's incredible. Now he's timing you going to the bathroom and pissing at the same time when he's pissing. Then he comes.
He admired his abuser so much that he said he's incredible. He didn't say he's a monster. He didn't say I hate him. He said he's incredible.
He got to go in the bathroom with you, and he's peeing at.
Not just that. Basically, you're saying that he was holding you against your will. Was he? Did he hold a gun on you that he said you can't leave? Because at 13, you having a little husky body, muscles and everything, or were you just working off to shizzle your body to show off? You've already been through the trauma, so it's kind of like you knew it was going to happen, but you chose to stay there instead of running away. Somebody else would have walked off, said, "Fuck this, nah, I ain't doing this, not again. I'm not." Something reacted some type of way, but you chose to stay there, chose to make the videos, chose to. Sorry, listen, man. Screw it. Say no filters to jerk off in the camera. I have no kids, so I can say it. My child is asleep, not right here with me. Screw it, Ray. No filters. Like, use dirty, use nasty. Like, yo, even though you was a teen. And if I was to ask a lot of victims if they was in your shoe, you had the freedom to just go and you stood and you took it.
At the same time, it's like he's incredible. Now he's timing you going to the bathroom, and
at the same time, he's incredible.
And pissing at the same time when he's pissing. Then he comes going to the bathroom and pissing at the same time when he go in the bathroom. He got to go in the bathroom with you, and he's peeing at the same time. It's like he's incredible. Now he's timing you
It's like he's incredible. I cannot believe this man just said shit.
going to the bathroom and pissing at the same time when he's pissing. Then he comes with the yo, young men is supposed to jerk off, and then he leaves his room door open with porn playing, and he might walk out and then just have you sitting there. And then he leaves you with the porn playing. Then he
Let me ask y'all men right now, right? And whether you haven't been abused or you have been abused, if you feel comfortable enough to speak on it, if you were abused, right? If you caught yourself as a teenager, right? Whether it happened to you before or not, right? If you caught yourself in a place where somebody's telling you, come on, and it's an older person, an older men, right? But you're a teenager, somebody, a little strong, works out, do all this, is into the gangs, all that, talking about already busting a cap in somebody's head. Now this man is sitting here talking about recording you, taking pictures of you, right? Telling you to flex off of the camera, then puts the porn on for y'all to jerk. Would y'all do it? Or would y'all leave? Would y'all stay there knowing that something's off? Or would y'all leave? Because if my gut's telling me something's not right, I'm leaving. And if I feel like something's not is wrong, I'm running. And this is coming from somebody that was a victim before. I don't see myself as a victim. I'm a survivor. I overcame so many obstacles and so many situations and so much trauma to the point where I could speak on my story. And instead of bringing others down, instead of feeling pity for myself or wanting pity from somebody else, I want my story to help the next person. I hope that my story helps the next person overcome whatever situation that they're going through. I'm sorry. Because, the way he's doing this, I'm sitting here, I'm like, like how can you bring up other people just by bringing them down, by being so toxic?
turns around, and this is what how you really like he's bugged out, and you realize how sick he really is, especially when you think back. Now he has books, and in those black books, people you never think that you would ever even expect is in those books, butt ass naked. And when you look at those books, you actually looking at stair steps of
Yo, he sound more like his secretary.
the older generation before you in those books, and him catching all these guys at a young age.
Okay, are these people that we know about these days?
Well, some of them probably.
Well,
And I know in the past I done threw names out, and I said I'm gonna try my best not to really call people out, but in the streets, we like yeah. I mean, the reality of it is, it's like this in Bronx River, and a lot of people don't want to admit it. One day, there was a fight, and I said this in my video that Star had put up. One day there was a fight going on. I believe it was a Roy Jones fight, and there was like 50 dudes inside the apartment watching the fight. So when I come in, I'm the last one to come into the fight. So somebody said to me, they was like, "All right, Bam done tried everybody in this room. What'd he do to you?" Then the whole room bust out laughing. I start laughing.
so basically, you're making it seem like everybody in that room agreed to, you know, become his bottom bitch, and they're trying to figure out if you did. So basically, you're trying to say that y'all had a whole sausage fest with this man, or that individually y'all, sat here and just ate sausages for dinner. I don't know, but basically, you're trying to say that y'all went with it, y'all agreed, not that he took it, that he forced y'all.
With him, but later on, I was like deep in thought, like this nigga got me. But the truth of the matter is, a lot of the people that in Bronx River, if it's 10 people in the room, Bam got 7 of them.
I mean, look, if you're gay, especially if you're a celebrity, you could find a boyfriend or you could find a man that's willing to do things with you. You know, I mean, being a celebrity puts you in a different kind of place when it comes to relationships. Why do you think that he was focusing on young kids as opposed to just finding someone who's 18 or older?
Because see, that's the whole key to it. It's like I tell people all the time, when that man go to sleep at nighttime, he doesn't have a boyfriend that he's going to sleep with. It's always a child. And I'm not going to say that he's not into, grown men, but the reality of it is his history, his timeline, it's always been little boys. He's always kept little boys around him, sort of like Michael Jackson. It's always little boys around.
All right. It's his story. It's off. Like, it's something not right with his story. Hassan Campbell has already been known to make a lot of plays, to lie a lot, to fake a lot of stuff on YouTube. In my opinion, like I said earlier, if he wanted this man put away, like I told a lot of people before, he could have been did that. He had the opportunity, he had the chance to do it. He didn't want it. So if he was that hurt, he could have been had his justice. But he's not hurt enough that he would have went out his way and got justice for something that was done to him. There's a lot of people out here that still have their abusers walking in the streets. See, I'm one of them. I'm not ashamed to admit that. My abuser still walks on these streets because my mom messed up. My situation is a little crazy. My story's out there for those of y'all that wish to hear it, and I hope it helps somebody else along the way. But at the end of the day, Hassan Campbell, this is not the way to go about it. You should have went and got some therapy before you sat here and got on social media. The way you're going about everything on social media is going to get somebody killed. Somebody's going to end up following your footsteps. And if that doesn't happen, somebody's going to come for you. They've already tried it. See, for those of y'all that don't know, y'all keep forgetting about the man that was on that train that was following, that was going to the Bronx to get Hassan. But Hassan had a lucky day. And ever since, it's been a lot of stuff going on when it comes to Hassan Campbell. And believe it or not, a lot of people don't like this man. This man has done a lot of people dirty. And the way he's doing stuff is not the way, in my opinion, that a real man should do it. Maybe a real nigga, like he says, but not a real man. A real man would have dealt with the situation differently, especially one with kids. That's my opinion. I don't know how y'all real men out there feel, how y'all would have dealt with a situation when y'all was like, if y'all was in Hassan Campbell's shoes. But I've seen a lot of real men around me. I've had a lot of real men take me under their wing. And I've seen how they would react in a lot of situations. I've also seen a lot of men that have been victims when they were kids. And they don't see themselves as victims when they grow up. They've overcome a lot of situations, a lot of trauma, and learned how to deal with their situation and move on. They have kids, they have a wife, or they have a girlfriend. You see where I'm coming from? And they're not stuck in the past. And it's not something that's easy to overcome when you're molested or when you're, raped, or when you go through some type of trauma like that. It's not the easiest thing. It's something that with time, unless you don't get some type of serious help, you're not going to overcome it. I'm not saying that you can't do it alone, but it's not going to be easy. And doing it alone might leave you scorned and still hurting other people. So maybe a lot of y'all don't want to hear the advice that I'm giving y'all, but you're going to need somebody positive on your side when you're going through these types of traumas. And you're going to have to learn how to accept the help, not from everybody. See, therapy would be the best way to go. That's my best advice for a lot of people. Go to a therapist. If you don't trust this one, Find another one. There's gonna be one out there that all you gotta do is just let it out. And he'll give you advice. Medicine isn't gonna solve everything. Alcohol isn't gonna solve everything. And a lot of us figure that out at an early time. Some figure it out late. But when it comes to Hassan Campbell, it's like if you went through it, you waited too long to try to even ask for help. But what's crazy is that a while back, you said you don't want him arrested. You don't want him put away. You don't want him dead. You don't want nothing to happen to him. You just wanted an apology. Man gave you allegedly an apology, and you're still going about this. You're still saying that there's no justice. There can't be no justice because you could never took him to court. You never put a police report. You never did anything. You just came on social media, spoke your story, and never even did a protest. You never even started anything to even get any type of justice. Justice means that you put him behind bars. Like you kept saying that in the beginning, you didn't want no bag. See, I learned throughout time that, going to speak up and taking somebody to court doesn't mean that you're suing them. You're not suing him. You're trying to get him arrested. You're trying to get him put away. Sue him for what? Arrest him. A lot of people will go for the money. But if you really wanted justice, you don't went all the way out. But you didn't. You either gave up or turned the other cheek. I don't know how many cheeks you could turn, but you're turning them all. And you sat here and you played people. You got money from people and you still haven't sat here and started something at least to help out the youth. Some type of community center, some type of program, some type of something. So at the end of the day, sympathy from me to him, I don't got none. And I've already gone over 2 hours on this live. I want to thank everybody that's rocked out, that's been with me this long, everybody that's hit that like button, that's helped the shorty get into the algorithm and bring awareness. And like I said, I'm going to see y'all in part 2, whether it's tonight or it's tomorrow. Make sure y'all subbed up so that y'all can know when I'm on live. Hit that little notification bell. And thanks for rocking out. Thanks for supporting the show. And like I said, y'all more than welcome to speak your mind. See, I don't mind nobody speaking your mind. I'm speaking their mind, giving an opinion, giving their perspective. Now, you doing that to sitting here giving me lashback because I gave my opinion, now that's a different story. Now, you sit here and give me some lashback because of me giving my opinion, I'm going to sit here and ignore the shit out of you, maybe, if it's not bad. But if you disrespect me, oh, trust me, I'm going to top your disrespect. I'm going to say what I got to say about that topic, about that situation, and move on. Because I don't got time to deal with either trolls or people that just want to beef on social media. Because a lot of y'all want smoke and can't handle the beef. A lot of y'all is looking for for beef and can't handle the smoke. And for all those of y'all that are looking for smoke, let me see. I ain't got it. Ain't no smoke. Ain't no, listen, nothing left in the ashtray. Real shit. But I am going to do a part 2 to this, guys. I'm going to do a part 2 to this. And the whole point of me doing this, reacting to this interview with Hassan Campbell and Vlad TV, is because I want y'all to see that there is consequences to all of our actions. Oy. My bad, I was trying to check something now. Yeah, I just want y'all to know, look, there's consequences to all of our actions. For those of y'all that think that y'all untouchable, for those of y'all that think that y'all can come here on social media and just say whatever you want, curse people out, bring people's kids down, and think that nobody's going to say nothing back, y'all got something coming for y'all. So there's going to be people out here that might react by just talking the ish, and there's going to be people out here that might react by sitting here and trying to find out where the hell you at and rocking your snot box off, like Hassan Campbell says. So at the end of the day, it's not what you do, it's how you do it. It's not what you say, it's what you say. It's how you say it. So stay tuned. I am going to be doing part 2 to this live. We're going to react to the rest of Hassan Campbell's videos. His interview with Vlad TV. Shout out to Vlad TV. I don't know much about Vlad TV, What I do know about Vlad TV is that anybody that does go into his podcast, they end up getting either arrested or others around them arrested. But stay tuned. I will be reacting to the rest of these videos. Hope to see y'all there. Hope to hear your opinions, your perspective. What do y'all think about what Hassan Campbell is doing? How do y'all feel about it? What do y'all think that, could be done when it comes to Hassan Campbell's situation? Should he be taken off of YouTube? Like, should he keep going? To me, I feel as though he needs to get off of YouTube. He needs to spend time with his family, his kids, his wife. He says he loves them so much. Instead of putting their lives in danger, like, you say you got shot, that it wasn't a play, that it was for real, that none of that was fake, that it was a real wound. So if this hasn't taught you to sit your ass down and think twice and figure out how to do things differently, then I don't know what to say. Hassan Campbell doesn't want to change. So I'll see you on my next live. Till next time, it's y'all shorty Rachel. I hope all of y'all have a blessed and humble day. I hope all of y'all continue to have a blessed and humble morning.